He found a pub on a side street that looked like it served food. The inside was larger and cleaner than he expected, and when he sat at a table in the back of the room, it was only a few seconds before the locals returned to their drinks. The menu was featureless, and his appetite hadn't returned. He ordered a cheeseburger basket and nursed a Guinness until it arrived. He was about to make an attempt at actually eating when the door to the bar opened and a woman walked in. She was tall, maybe 5'9", and wore a knee-length skirt. Her dark brown hair was swept away from her brow by a black headband and hung almost to her shoulders. She clutched a purse close to her side, and as her eyes passed over him without lingering, he remembered the dances they'd shared, the feeling of her slender back beneath his hand, how her lips felt against his, even the way her skin smelled. Liam set his burger in the basket and stood. The woman turned away from him and tried to lean on a bar stool as she waited for the bartender to finish with another patron. Liam threaded his way between a row of tables and put a hand on the bar a couple feet from where she stood. He watched her eyes glance at him, traveling up his forearm to his face before sliding away and then coming back. She pivoted, her mouth open, the beginning of a question on her tongue. "Hi, Danny," Liam said. She tried to say something. He could see a word forming in her mouth, but then she simply stepped around the bar stool that separated them and hugged him, tears already spilling from her eyes. He led her back to his table after she put in an order for a vodka tonic. After the waitress dropped off the drink, she sipped it and stared at him over the rim of the glass. He crossed his legs and sat back in his chair, looking at the spots where her tears dried in ghostly, crooked lines on her cheeks. "I can't believe you recognized me," she said after a few minutes of them trading gazes. "Ditto," he said, cradling his beer in one hand. "But in all fairness, you haven't changed that much." Danny huffed laughter as she wiped again at the trail of tears. "In 10 years, yeah, right." "No, really," Liam said. "I knew it was you right away." She brushed her cheek one more time and then looked at him, her green eyes unwavering in the low light of the bar. "You look different." He tried to smile, but it crumpled and refused to take hold. "It's been a long time." "Yes, it has." Liam searched her face and found himself studying the angles of her nose, the sharp lines of her eyebrows, the red of her lips, just as he had when they'd danced so many years before. He took a long drink of his beer, then set it down on the table. "It's horrible," she said after a moment. "I can't even bring myself to accept it yet." "I know what you mean. It's a shock." "I just can't—" Danny's eyes filled with tears again, and she shook her head. "Sorry. I'm still trying to wrap my mind around it. Susie and I were pretty close, even for cousins." "She wouldn't have had just anyone as her maid of honor, I'm sure." Danny jerked her head, the tears she fought to hold back streaming down her face again. She rubbed a shaking hand across her forehead and took a long pull from the glass before her. "You never think you'll have to deal with this sort of thing, you know? You do your regular routine every day, and it's easy to forget this type of stuff happens all the time." Liam didn't move. Instead, he fought the bindings of panic beginning to tighten in the center of his chest. "You just don't think it'll ever happen to you. It's terrible of me, but I didn't want to come. I wouldn't have, but there's no one else on Susie's side of the family besides my parents, and they're on a cruise vacation." Danny wiped her eyes again. Liam struggled for words of comfort, words he'd spoken before to families he didn't know, wives, husbands, children, mothers, fathers. But now he found nothing in the reservoir deep within him. It was hollow and empty, a tomb of dried emotions that lay silent in a dark place he couldn't reach anymore. "I'm sorry," Danny said after a moment.